Hola, guapas. How are you? I'm super excited. Do you know why? Because the sun is shining. If the sun is shining, I am vibing. I am at my best. I always say that I'm solar powered because guess what? I'm solar powered. So I can really feel you when, it's tough to have another rainy day, another cloudy day, all that kind of stuff. But as it warms up and as the weather gets sunnier, life is so good. And we really want to know that about ourselves, I think. And that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about today. I just wanted to really mention that for a second that sometimes, we can feel, we have all the feelings, and it could be because of our literal environment, where we live, and the sun and the rain and all that. Anywho, what I wanted to talk about today was my 30-day of carnivorism. That sounds horrible. Now, when I came back from Spain, my because of the experience in Spain of eating the amazing foods there, like they have the jambon, and it's not ham like we have here. It's like top of the line meat that is cured, so there's no chemicals, there's no preservatives. It's just so clean and so, and I didn't even eat that there because that wasn't really my jam. But the oil, that's what really got me, was the oil. Because if you followed me, you would see that I was doing on my last week like the best pan con tomate. That's what you have in the morning. And it was just so good to have some fresh baked bread toasted with oil. You put the oil on it, and then you put a little salt on it, and then you put the tomato. They make a tomato, it's almost like a chutney, but it's not, because it's thin, but it's not chunky, but it's like a tomato paste, but it's not a paste. It's so hard to describe. You just have to go to Spain and try it for yourself, sister. But you just sit at this cafe and you have your little coffee, and you put the oil on your bread and salt it, and then you just take a spoonful of the tomato and you eat it, and life is so good. And because the oil is made there, it's cold pressed, it's the best. There's no chemicals, there's no, one of the worst things you could be eating is seed oil. It's the worst thing you could possibly be eating, and it's in everything. And they put it on our labels and say stuff like vegetable oil, so it sounds good for us, but it's not. So please, if you're going to change one thing, get rid of seed oils. And if you follow me too, you know that I follow the principle on calorie density. So I never count my calories, but it's based on not having the oils and the high calorie dense foods. But when you are eating an oil that is in the way that closest to nature as possible, it's a whole other ball game. And this is why I really changed my thought on like what else is possible. Like what else? Over the years I've done all the nutrition, I've studied all the things. I'm a holistic nutritionist, I was a personal trainer, like all the stuff. I personally have done all the things just to experience them so I could see if they worked and recommend certain things to my client and understand my body better. But this just was a really delicious and wonderful eye opener to like, you know what? That's just all possible if you are a meat eater. And I'm never saying you shouldn't eat meat. I'm saying this is what I do and here's why. That's what I always say. Here's what I do and here's why. Here are my reasons, but you do you, boo. Like whatever works for you, I'm cool with that. You can come and work with me, take my programs, and not be a plant-based person. You can be a meat eater and come and work with me, and you'll get results. It works for everybody because it's based on following your body, the intuition of your body. And so after having this like blessed experience in Spain of the adventure of eating, and it was just like it was like a spiritual experience. It really was. I know that sounds crazy, but the connection you have with your friends when you go and have tapas and you share everything and you're talking about how good this is and how good that is, and wine, and glasses are clinking, and it's like the warmth of the air. And even in the middle of winter, you're sitting outside at a cafe, and the murmur of people and laughing. And it was just, the later it gets, the more people come out. Like it's, oh, like I just fell in love with that. And then on top of that, I've got my boys who are carnivores. So when they hit a certain age, I'm like, can I stop momming you? Okay, yes, perfect. That means I don't want to cook for you anymore because I don't like cooking. And then I'm making you guys, and I would always make them chicken or fish because I didn't eat red meat. I didn't eat meat, but I didn't know how to cook red meat. I just didn't know. So it was easiest for me to cook chicken because I ate chicken for a while when I was younger. And so I'm like, you guys you're going to cook for yourselves, but that means you have to clean up after yourselves and all this stuff. So they're like, yeah, no problem. And my older son, Fee, he's just this kid that once he takes an interest in something, he just figures it out. Like if he's interested in it, he's going to become an expert in it in no time because it interests him. And so both my boys were interested in their health just because of the lifestyle that I've lived. They just naturally were interested in it. They couldn't not be. And so the more curious they get, they find their own mentors and people that they follow and study, go down their own rabbit holes and all that kind of stuff. And they felt called to be meat eaters. And then they felt called to be like carnivores. And this is like pure meat. They're just eating meat, eggs, and then fruit. That was kind of their protocol. So when I was going on and on about Spain and how wonderful it was, and the boys were like, you should be a carnivore. It's so healthy for you. It reduces inflammation. And they just kept going on and on about why they do it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try it because I love experimenting with my body. I love it. I love to like take a philosophy or like a system and apply it to myself and just see how my body reacts, because that's always my answer. My body will always tell me what the answer is. And so, heck yeah, I'll do it. And the best part was my older son does the cooking. So he cooks for my younger son, and all I had to do was show up like ladies. I didn't have to cook anything, and I didn't clean either because he cooks in a cast iron frying pan, which I hate. I don't know why I hate them. No, I do, because my mom used to cook with them, and they're big and they're heavy, and it seemed like in my brain, traditionally, you have to wash a frying pan with soap and water, and you can't do that with this. You're not supposed to wash it with soap and water. And I couldn't wrap my brain around it for some reason. And so I've always thought like, I don't like cast iron frying pans, although they're the best frying pans because you're not cooking with non-stick, Teflon non-stick toxic chemicals for sure. But he cooks everything in a cast iron frying pan, and they just have steak every night. And he's nailed how to cook a steak, like nailed it. And so the very first time I had it, the hardest part was that first time eating steak, just kind of wrapping my brain around it. Like I didn't want to eat it, and I like reluctantly ate it. And it was just kind of the concept of it, just everything, because I hadn't eaten red meat since I was just out of high school, like 100 years ago. So mentally was the hardest part about eating it. And I got over that really quick, and because it was so delicious. Like he just knew how to make a steak, and then he found out the perfect kind of steak, because I hate fat, like just the thought of fat or the texture of fat in meat is horrible. So he found like the perfect steak for me, where it was just every time it was perfect. And he'd be like, dinner, and I come downstairs and boom, there's my steak. So it was really easy for me. But I'm going to tell you this. I enjoyed it because it was easy, because I didn't have to cook. And then one day, one thing I noticed about it though was when I went to play tennis or something, I needed to supplement. I needed some fruit or whatever. I needed that energy boost, right? And then one day my kids moved out. Boo-hoo, like feel bad for me, but don't feel bad for me, because it's the best thing ever. I know it seems horrible to say that, but it is the best thing ever. I'm telling you guys. But I got over it. Like it was sad. It was hard. My heart was broken, but now I'm loving it. I am loving it. But when that happened, it changed, because I'm not going to cook a steak. Like I'm not. When they left, I'm like, there was like a couple of steaks left over. So I'm like, I will cook it in the air fryer. And I'm okay with that, because I just don't want to clean the frying pan. I don't want to. Now, listen, we got to time out for a second, because although Fee was fabulous at cooking these steaks, like rock star status, like, yes, chef. He would make a mess. I'm talking the biggest, ugliest mess you could ever imagine, because it's all just fat spraying everywhere. And he's not a good cleaner upper. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. He was the worst at cleaning up after. So much so that I bought a barbecue for him. I'm like, learn how to cook steaks on the barbecue, and then everybody wins. And it just didn't work for him. He didn't do it. So when I was away, it was fine. But when I was at home, it was like the bane of my existence. It's like the kitchen was fat. It was just a kitchen of fat. It was so disgusting. Fat everywhere. And I couldn't. It was funny because I was caught between like hard line, got to clean up, and like, yeah. And then that relationship, if you don't want to nag, especially if, you're trying to get them to be their own people, but it's not working for me. And then you doing it. And then it's like, okay, you know what? They're moving out, so I'll do it. But then a second later, it was like that again and not cleaned up. And it was like, this, I can't handle this. So that's one of the reasons why, like when they move out, you're like, hey, well, I wake up and my kitchen is still spotless. And I'm not a clean freak by any means. I'm just like an average person that doesn't want fat dripping off the cabinets of their kitchen. I think it's a reasonable expectation. And I think all moms would agree with me. So that was one of the things that was, the price of admission, if you will, that I paid for eating the steak. And so when he left, I of course cleaned the house top to bottom, and it took forever to clean the fat off of everything, but now it's all sparkly and it's good. But I didn't want to do that because it's messy, and then you got to clean the cast iron frying pan. So I was not all about it. I literally put the steak in the air fryer, and I seasoned it the same way that Fee seasoned it, and it tasted fine, but it didn't have that seared, and it wasn't the same, but it tasted good. I could do it. And then I fell off after that, because after the steak was all gone, I was like, I'm not gonna buy steak, and then I'm not gonna buy chicken. Maybe I'll do fish, but it's just not my thing. It's just hard for me to cook that. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me. So I kind of fell off. I'm being real here. I kept on with eggs, and I did milk. So the milk was like organic, whole milk from a local farm, and eggs. I still eat eggs. I've always eaten eggs. I love eggs. I've always said that I'm going to find a local farm and get the eggs fresh, and I haven't yet. So this summer, that's my mission. But you can get amazing organic farm fresh eggs from Palm or from Meridian Meats, or actually Superstore has really good organic farm fresh local eggs too. So I would do cheeses. I was like in heaven, because you can eat cheese, cottage cheese, yogurt, and bacon. Like I had one day, I was trying to eat all the food in the fridge that the boys left when they left, and one of them was a thing of bacon. So it's all like now you got to remember, the meat is like the healthiest meat you could possibly get, but I'll come back to that. But like a whole package of bacon, I just cooked it up, and then I put it in a sourdough. Like when you get the sourdough bread here, I found a place where there's no extra stuff. It's just basic, so you can have the sourdough. And it was just a bacon sandwich, and it was amazing, because I haven't eaten bacon in it forever. No matter what you eat or don't eat, like, it's bacon, right? Bacon. People like bacon. Everybody likes bacon. So anyway, I've kind of fell off really quick, and just stayed with the stuff I had till it was gone. But I've done ketosis before, and that's kind of what the carnivore diet is ketosis. And I've really found that for me, it doesn't work, because I like to eat a lot of food, and it's hard for me to get all of that food in and enjoy it. And so I would not do it again. I would not stick with it. I'm not a fan of ketosis for me, or a carnivore diet for me. But what I would do, what I learned from it is definitely I'm going to add in, because I brought back some olive oil from Spain. So I would add those things into my diet a little bit more. And maybe I might have a steak here or there, but it's not something that I'm going to add into my repertoire. I'm going to go back to exactly what I was doing before because it just works for me. I love the way I eat because I love eating plant foods. I love eating fruits and vegetables. It's just like really, it makes me giddy just thinking about it right now as I slowly went to my old ways. I was like, this is so delicious. So that's how I know that that works for me, is because I love doing it. I just like to eat a lot of food. I never want to restrict myself when it comes to food. So the key thing about eating meat, if you are eating meat, is you want to make it as clean as possible. So the meat that we were eating, and the boys will not scrimp on this, they will not compromise. It's a hard line for them. It's grass-fed, grass-finished, organic local beef, and that's it. Or chicken. It has to be that. It has to be that, because otherwise you're doing an injustice. Like, you're just causing another problem for yourself, pretty much, right? So it's really important that the quality of food that you get is top notch. Listen, you pay the price now or you pay the price later with your health. It's either or. You're going to pay either way. So it's better to pay, with dollars instead of with your health. There's this saying that I heard: when you are healthy, you have hundreds of problems, but when you're sick, you literally just have one problem: getting healthy again. Like, your life stops when you're sick. You have one problem. That's how important it is. And think about us as midlife women. We want to be as healthy as possible. So when we're 70, we're out there traveling the world. We're surfing. Now, these are all the things I like to do. We're playing tennis or pickleball. But insert whatever it is that you like to do, and you want to be doing that when you're 70 and 80, because you want to have longevity, but only if it's healthy longevity. You don't want to be rotting. You don't want to be stuck in a body that can't take you places you want to go or do the things that you want to do. It's really, really important. And the basis of everything, where it all starts, the foundation of it all, is our food. And so the one thing that, no matter what system you use, no matter what food philosophy you follow, the bottom line is whole, clean foods, period, no matter what you're eating. You want it to be organic. And it's funny because growing up, there was no organic. It was just food. But now the food industry puts so many chemicals into our food that it's not food anymore. So we have to classify organic food, which is crazy when you think about it. And you want it to be as local as possible. And maybe that's a good thing about this little tiff that's going on with the US right now and the tariff and all that, is that buy local. Yes, buy local. Always buy local. Buy as much local stuff when it comes to food, local and seasonal as possible. And then you always, always want to listen to your body, because your body will tell you what it needs. Your body is giving you feedback at all times. And so you want to trust your body, and you want to listen to it, and you want to give it what it needs. That is key. So I am happy to say that the experiment is over, and I failed miserably, and I'm okay failing, because it just kind of reinforces that what I'm doing for my body really works, because I was just craving to go back to like the fruit and the veggies and the purple sweet potatoes, and yum, it's so good. But I'm going to make a few changes. Like, I've learned a couple things along the way, and I'm going to make a few changes as I go. I just wanted to share my story with you, because I know, like, I've been plant-based forever. So when I said I'm going to go carnivore, people were like, what happened? What's going on? Have you lost your mind? But I'm really, the philosophy that really kind of runs everything is, I just want to create the healthiest version of me possible, and then share with others how to do that for themselves. And if it means you need to eat meat, then yes, you need to do that. So trust your intuition. Trust what your body is telling you. Really learn how to translate that feedback that it gives you. And that's what I do. Like, when I work with my clients, they'll say, this is happening. It's like, oh, your body's telling you this. I wonder why. Let's track it down. Why? What's going on? And then why is this happening? That's how we just answer all these problems. And you know what? That is in alignment with nature. Nature has all the answers. We should Follow nature's cues, and nature is always balancing. What does it need to balance? If you just left nature unto itself, it would always just figure it out, because it always comes back to balance. And our body is nature, and our body is designed to balance itself out. So we want to try to figure out what our body needs to balance itself out. That's our mission. And so whatever food that looks like for you, in the whole clean, organic, local, seasonal version of that, you go for it. And if you want help with it, you know where to find me. I'm here. I'm always here. We are mastering midlife together. And although my program, like I talk a lot about health and nutrition because I believe it's a huge one, the program is so much more than that. And it is a monthly subscription. I just got to tell you about it because it's insane. It's literally $47 a month. And we do monthly challenges. We have a local group. It's a private community that is off of Facebook, so you don't have to be on social media. And we dig into your personal things that are going on, like whatever it is. It's not just your body. People think it's their health and their weight and that, but it's not. It's all of it. There's so many things that go on in midlife, and as women, we just get focused on, our weight, and our weight is just a symptom of something else. So if you're ready to dig in and learn how to think and feel on purpose, to process emotions, to redirect your brain, to be in the driver's seat and to create the results that you want, come and join us, because it's awesome and it is made for midlife women just like you. Oh, this was a good one. I was so excited to tell you about this because it was a funny story, I'm going to be carnivore, and then I'm not. I couldn't even do 30 days, but I gave it a good shot. I really did. I gave it a really good shot, and then I slowly petered off as soon as my kids left. But I learned a lot, and that's what it's all about. And I hope that you learned something from my experience. Thank you for listening. Always, always, always love yourself first, and have an amazing day.